Tonight on News 5 Live, 9 years after shooting a fellow Coast Guard sailor, Kiran Zib is sentenced to almost 5 years in prison. Another restaurant scam is uncovered, this time in Belmopan. The Toledo by-election is officially set for July 17th, and in tonight's episode of Culture Tuesday, we'll tell you about the legend of Tata Dende. These stories and more coming up on News 5 Live.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers! We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
I know I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
1,067,700 slices of bacon are eaten by tourists each year, stimulating our local economy. Tourism means business.
Prepare for the heat and stay cool with a Reamer-Gree air conditioning unit from Benny's. Choose the right BTU unit size for your bedroom or living room and enjoy complete comfort. You can also save money with an inverter unit that is energy efficient. When the heat is on, stay cool and comfortable with an affordable, dependable AC unit from Ream or Gree. Available at Benny's. Quality and savings.
Vacation in San Pedro this summer with the Watermark Belize Hotel. Enjoy refuse from our rooftop bar and pool. Plus, get an exclusive 15% off local rates on multi-bed and multi-bedroom units. WhatsApp us at 671-4977 to book your staycation through August 31st.
I have witnessed that the government of Belize recognizes the significance of investing in infrastructure and has undertaken various major infrastructure projects all over the nation.
Plan Belize, with its commitment to the development and well-being of our nation, recognized the importance of this road. They understood that by investing in our infrastructure, they were also investing in our future. Today, we celebrate not just the restoration of a road, but the opening of new opportunities and a brighter future for our community.
We think about transforming the individual lives and the communities, but also the economic opportunities that are being created because of this road. This is part of Plan Belize. Plan Belize is about people and how we can connect people and communities. And to do that, then obviously we have to start with the infrastructure.
Summer is almost here and we're gearing up for the exciting time of the year where kids from all over the country come together and showcase their talent on one stage. The Open Your Eyes stage. Yes, that's right. Summerfest is back.
Join us on June 21st at 6:30 a.m. at the Memorial Park in Belize City for a fun-filled morning. Get ready to see all kinds of talent on stage by kids from all over the country. See you at Summerfest 2024.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Tuesday, June 18th. I am Sabrina Daly. The long, drawn-out series of events involving former Coast Guard sailor Kiran Zib came to an end earlier today when she was sentenced to almost 5 years in prison after being found guilty of the attempted murder of her colleague. The incident during which Zib fired an M4 carbine injuring Petty Officer Kurt Hyde took place on Easter Monday of 2015. In the wake of the shooting, she was charged with 3 offenses, including attempted murder, dangerous harm, and use of deadly means of harm. A psychiatric evaluation was also conducted to determine her state of mind at the time of the incident. Since then, Zib has been back and forth to court over this matter. When she appeared before Justice Candice Nanton this morning, it was her attorney's hope that the non-custodial sentence would have been handed down. However, after carefully analyzing the facts and taking into consideration Zib's mental state, the starting point for mitigating and aggravating factors began at 13 years. For the length of time that the case meandered through the justice system, 6 years were deducted from the possible sentence. An additional 2 years were subtracted, given Zib's mental state in relation to her guilt. For the time that Zib spent on pretrial detention, 2 months were also taken away, leaving a prison term of 4 years and 10 months. Following today's judgment, attorney Arthur Saldivar spoke on his client's behalf, indicating that the sentence will be appealed.
The offense for which Ms. Zib had been charged and convicted of was attempted murder. And in our jurisdiction, generally, the range of sentences have been from 8 to 15 years. So one would appreciate that there was a significant reduction, although it was being urged on the court that a non-custodial sentence would have been most appropriate. We did not get that, but we got a significant reduction from the 8 to 4 years, 10 months. What was taken into consideration in respect of that was the mental state, the offender, the fact that she was not previously convicted, she was a person of good character, and it was also taken into consideration the fact that there was considerable delay. This offense took place in 2015. The trial happened some 9 years later, 2024. But there were also matters that I think should have been taken into consideration that was not, and we'll be addressing that on appeal.
So the status is that she will be appealing. What will she be appealing? Will she be appealing the conviction?
Both the conviction and the sentence. It's a very sad situation that has occurred here, and the public should know that in relation to what happened with Ms. Zib, this was a young lady who had no idea the person who raped her was going to be on a boat with her prior to this incident happening. She was already suffering from the trauma, being violated in that way. So one would imagine suffering serious mental illness as a result of being violated by a person in the most horrible way any woman can be violated, and being in possession of a weapon, and that person also, violator, being in possession of a weapon himself, oh, that would have caused an already impaired mind to react. So my heart goes out because I have a mother, I have sisters. Certainly, I can understand a person in her position not being in control of her full faculties because of the trauma she experienced, reacting the way she did.
Earlier today, 28-year-old Leanne Davis has been found guilty of manslaughter in the stabbing death of her sister-in-law during an unfortunate incident that took place in April of 2021. In a ruling this morning, Justice Candice Nanton found that there was extreme provocation in Davis's case, hence the reason she was found not guilty of murder, but guilty of manslaughter. Davis, then a 25-year-old mother of 2, got into an altercation with Venetia Stain, a resident of Gracie Rock Village. According to a witness who was 15 years old at the time, the deadly incident happened when Davis reportedly bumped into Stain and an argument ensued. During the heated exchange, Stain was stabbed as many as 6 times, including a fatal wound inflicted in the area of her right breast. Davis was remanded on a charge of murder. The trial got underway a little over a month ago. In her defense, Davis, from the dock, told the court that she was provoked. Sentencing for Davis has been deferred to July 29th, and she has been remanded back to the Belize Central Prison. 1 year ago, 29-year-old Adrian Pook was shot dead in his yard by a gunman laying wait under the back steps of his home. The shooter was handed over to the police by Pook's family after they detained him at the scene. Today, that man pleaded guilty to that crime. He is 20-year-old Kristen Francis. This morning, Francis, represented in court by attorney Arthur Saldivar, signed the plea bargain documents and took ownership for his actions. Saldivar urged upon the court to take into consideration the fact that his clients expressed remorse and was only 18 at the time of the murder, which was his first offense. Saldivar said that Francis has been waiting for the opportunity to apologize to the parents of the deceased and has taken full responsibility for his actions. Francis will be sentenced on July 16th and must undergo a psychiatric evaluation before appearing in court. Justice Derek Sylvester also ordered a social inquiry report and a victim impact statement to be delivered before sentencing. Last month, we reported on Belize City resident Jermaine Turton, who scammed the popular celebrity restaurant out of $3,000 through fraudulent online transfers. Today, another restaurant scam was exposed, but this time in Belmopan. The unnamed resident allegedly conducted fraudulent bank transfers with Formosa, Wingstop, and Chonsan Palace, summing up to over $6,000 in food and drinks. The Chonsan incident was resolved after the perpetrator's father, a well-known businessman, cleared up his daughter's outstanding bill. Lee Mark Chan, owner of Chonsan Palace, says that this has been an issue the restaurant industry has been grappling with for years.
We have been touched before, and we have omitted that type of payment outright. So there is no more payment in terms of online transfers or stuff like that, because it do takes a couple of days if you transfer from one bank to the next bank in order to see it. Usually if you do it from Belize Bank to Belize Bank account, then it's almost immediate. But to avoid the headache, we have omitted all of that. I've learned recently that one of our branches has also been a victim of this, but it has been a minimal, and I've been made to understand that it has been paid back already.
What is the process being used to defraud these restaurants? Do you know what system or how they go about doing this online?
Well, there's many of it, and some of it maybe I should not speak about, but the photoshopping is the easiest one. Another one is when they get a hold of someone's credit card, probably through theft or robbery. And there was one incident where the person actually brought the credit card to the restaurant, and they purchased food and alcoholic drinks. And in about half an hour, the police came with the owner asking to see the surveillance. We showed them, and of course the person went again and to use the same card at another location, and I was told he was apprehended. The group of them were apprehended because of the stolen card. So they use it and then they go to swipe it at business establishments.
I understand that perhaps in the BPO sectors where perhaps these service agents get a hold of personal credit card information for customers, that in some instances they do use those confidential information to transact business?
We have had our fair share of this stolen credit card information, yes. But it has been a very minimal. It has winded down a lot right now. Of course, we have, whenever a credit card transaction comes in through credit card and we suspect it, we usually call first to make sure that we have a ID number to fix on a person. Then we deliver the food. If not, we would just cancel the order and make sure that the credit card company refunds it.
This has been going on for quite some time, but it doesn't seem to be reported nearly enough. The only one that we recall fairly recently was the incident with Celebrity Restaurant. Why isn't this kind of crime being reported to police or legal action to prosecute these individuals are taken?
Well, I believe that because the law is not stiff enough, or probably there is not enough regulation or law enforcement to deal with these type of white-collar crimes. But I have done my share in terms of trying to minimize or try to catch the persons using these stolen credit cards, and we have been mostly successful.
Coming up, will ganja continue to impose on Belize's U.S. banking relations?
Hello, friends. I'm Dr. Bob Roberts with another 60-second sermon from God's Word. The Bible says, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it." I went to a school at a wonderful time in America. It was a time when the Ten Commandments hung on the wall, godly principles were taught, and church attendance was encouraged. Often when someone asks me, "Who influenced your life the most?" I have to respond by saying a gray-headed fourth grade teacher by the name of Mrs. Conyers, who was a retired Methodist missionary. She impacted my life for eternity, and yet she probably never knew it. Mrs. Conyers taught by example, but she also showed godly concern. I was reared by God-fearing parents, but we did not go to church very often. This presented a problem for me on Monday because every Monday morning we had to send to the principal's office the percent in our class that attended Sunday school or church. Those with 100% would receive special recognition. Well, since I did not go to Sunday school, my class never received that recognition. Mrs. Conyers became concerned about me and asked if she could pick me up to go with her to church. That was all that it took. I went to Sunday school the very next Sunday, and the next year I gave my heart to Christ, and I have lived for Him and served Him ever since. I will always remember Mrs. Conyers teaching me geography and history and mathematics, but I will also remember her most for pointing me to Christ and to His church. Today's 60-second sermon has been presented by Christian Foundations of Faith in cooperation with the Baptist churches in your area.
Tell me, what about our honor today?
I recently did a red girl video. I get more views than Harriet. And you know one person had the nerve to post that I am not even a red girl? I mean, like, what that mean anyway?
Well, here what about me? Every time I go buy meat pie, and I go, so, nothing in there. Nothing. So this is my issue. I over 18. I don't want no one artist. And you could believe my man still expect me for wash dishes? We don't got time for that. I out there for dishes. Yes.
And you, sir?
Well, I don't really got their kind of problems, you know. Ever since I switched to DJ and signed up for my unlimited postpaid plan, life stress-free. Nothing bother me or my connection no more.
I just feel so thankful and grateful to the Almighty, you know, and everyone who has been a part of this initiative, especially Ms. Marisa and the minister, you know, doing this. This is very helpful for a lot of us. And I am a registered voter for the Pick South Division, Anthony Mahler, and I had to get the land all the way here, so that's why I am in Corzal, because I had to look for land, and praise God, Minister Hyde has blessed me with a piece of land this side, so that's why I'm here.
Muchas gracias, también les pido también pues que están conmigo.
Usted sabe que rentando tuvimos muchas humillaciones, muchas cosas que pasé, pero le pedí a Dios que Dios me va a dar una casita. Y hoy estoy agradecida con Él y con el ministro, con MIDH.
You just see the smile and the emotion that come out. And you know, I think it's on days like today where you're like, you know, this is what you work hard for. This is what Plan Belize is all about, making lives better, making this country better.
At RF&G Insurance, we're committed to safeguarding what matters most to you, offering coverage mile after mile. Our offices and agents located across Belize ensure that you are protected. Secure your property with RF&G Householders Comprehensive Policy. From your home to your belongings, we offer protection so you can enjoy life to the fullest. For more information on your coverage options, contact our team of experts today or visit your local agents. We'll be ready to assist. Don't forget, it pays to get it right with RF&G Insurance, a Rowe Group company.
Governor General Forla Salam has issued a writ of election for holding a by-election for the Toledo East electoral division. The writ notes that the day appointed for the nomination of candidates is Tuesday, July 2nd. As Prime Minister John Briceño has announced, the by-election will take place on Wednesday, July 17th. The Representation of the People's Act states that the persons entitled to vote at the election of a divisional representative must be persons whose names appear on the register for that division, as existing on the nomination day. According to the Elections and Boundaries Department, the cutoff date for persons wishing to be registered as electors and who wish to vote in the upcoming by-election was Monday, June 10th. That time has already passed. The department says that the cutoff date allows the officers to conduct their due diligence on all applications received, which includes the publication of supplementary list and holding of revision court as required by law. Persons applying to be registered as electors after the cutoff date will not be eligible to vote in the Toledo East electoral division by-election. As we have reported, the People's United Party elected Osman Martinez as its candidate in Toledo East during a recent party convention. He is set to go up against the People's National Party's Will Mejia and the United Democratic Party's Dennis Disha Williams. We heard from Williams for the first time today when he made an appearance on Open Your Eyes. Williams spoke about the challenges that residents are facing in the constituency and a few of his plans to address those issues. Here's a bit of what he had to say this morning.
I enjoy the satisfaction I get from just assisting people.
Okay.
And many of my colleagues told me, man, you like to help out, you like to do this, so why not take it up?
Yeah.
It was a long, hard, tough decision because it's not my kind of thing to be in the forefront. I was like more a street soldier for the party and working hard, and you know. But I decided to take it up, and it is extremely challenging because the size of the constituency alone is extremely difficult. My farthest village is 72 miles north. That's Monkey River. And you have nearly 60 miles south. One of the biggest issues in the rural area is the Maya land rights issue. You know, that is one of the main sticking points as you go. That's one of the questions they ask. And my response to them is that, well, I spoke to my party leader, Honorable Shine, and he said we are a law-abiding country, so if the court rules something, we have to abide by it, no? I am no expert. I just go by what the court. I would go by what the court says. It does not really. I tell them it does not really affect me. Like us living in town, it affects them and their future because they are complaining about the 1 kilometer outside their village. They say that is not enough. I spoke to, like I said, with Shine. He has a lot of connection. We would benefit greatly from a call center in PG. There is none. We have graduates from UB High School that have great command of the English language, but they have to leave, and some go to Harvest Key, some to Belmopan, to the Keys to seek employment. And it's one of the cry I hear from them is that it's difficult to continue further their education when they have to leave home to start to work.
Yeah.
You know, so a simple thing like a call center with 500 jobs would create a lot of employment, and it doesn't need central government to do that.
Yeah.
When it comes to tourism, that is not something we can do right now, but we have the full package when it comes to Toledo. We have the reef, we have the Keys, we have the Maya temples, we have falls, Blue Creek cave tubing.
Yeah.
We have everything, but the BTB has done nothing to create employment there.
100 law enforcement officers from the Belize Police Department have received approval to acquire land from the government of Belize as a token of appreciation from the Ministry of Home Affairs. In a brief ceremony held on Monday, Minister Karim Musa recognized the men and women in uniform for the commitment and dedication to citizen security in their respective communities.
To you, 100 officers is not only a mere incentive, but more of a grand gesture of thanks and appreciation. Thank you for the long hours, for the extra mile that you go, for the exercise of discernment for those situations you didn't cover in training academy, for being good officers of the law. It is my hope that this piece of our jewel opens more doors for you and your families, be that having the collateral to build a new house, going back to school, or simply just a place you can with a peace of mind called home. Congratulations, and once again, thank you for your service.
The consumption of marijuana in small doses has been decriminalized in Belize since 2017. However, in the United States, it is still not federally legalized. The disparity has caused American banks to resist conducting transactions with cultivators of the drug. On Monday, at Belize's second annual anti-money laundering conference, which is jointly hosted with the Embassy of the United States, Minister of New Growth Industries, Karim Musa, was asked if marijuana will continue to impose on Belize-U.S. banking relations. Here's his response.
In relation to this particular conference, you have been a proponent of new growth industries and specifically the legalized cultivation of marijuana. Are you anticipating or are you hoping that an outcome of this conference will be a mechanism whereby the commercial banks who have been very cagey about receiving any sort of deposits from marijuana cultivators would be in a position that they could receive the deposits of farmers who have been cultivating marijuana without it being viewed by American authorities as being the illicit proceeds of an illegal activity?
Yeah, I believe significant strides have been made on the cannabis front, especially in the United States where most of our correspondent banks sit. There was a recent reclassification of cannabis from a Schedule 1 to a Schedule 3 drug, and so that will allow for greater banking possibilities within the United States, and it's expected that that will translate to greater banking opportunities for Belize as well. As I mentioned, we do have correspondent banking relations. We want to preserve that by all means, and so I don't see it, again, as before, I don't see it being a big issue because so long as it's a cash industry per se, but we do want to move away from it being a cash industry in the future, and so with these new classifications, it will help the banking of it.
After the break, Tata Dende, the old man who protects the forest. But first, here's a weather update with data from the Belize Met Service.
When our administration came into office, it was during a very difficult time, the time of COVID, and our police officers had to carry on special duties during that time, and our administration made a pledge to them at that time that we would ensure that all officers who do not own a piece of land in the country would be receiving a land title. And so today we issued 100 land purchase approval forms for these officers, and this follows two previous cohorts of 100 each.
What they have expressed to me is gratitude, excitement. Anybody that happens to own a piece of the jewel must be excited, must be happy. It gives them a sense of accomplishment.
It is my hope that this piece of our jewel opens more doors for you and your families. Be that having the collateral to build a new house, going back to school, or simply just a place you can with a peace of mind called home.
Toledo East needs a new representative, and Dennis Williams is the right candidate at the right time. A fresh face, but a seasoned activist.
In 2002, I started with the former Minister of Human Development, Eden Martinez. I was active in the campaign, village to village. In the town council, I supported Mayor Floyd Lino, Mayor Fern Gutierrez, Mayor Ashton.
Wow.
So whenever there's election, I go full force, yes. I go full force.
Having established a close connection with his people, he is ready and able to serve as their area representative.
And I decided that, you know what, I am hearing from them direct. I am already serving the people. If I can do it in that capacity, they will be the first person that I will look after.
A more approachable and compassionate person you cannot find. This, combined with his drive to get things done, makes Disha just the area representative Toledo East needs.
After the election, I don't see red, blue, white, green. I will help everyone. And they know that I am a person, I have this drive that nothing will stop me. Mm-hmm. And we have been neglected for too long. So I want to be the person to make the difference.
It is time for change, and Disha will make the difference for Toledo East.
I'm connected. Yo.
I'm connected.
We're connected.
Create the perfect broadband bundle that fits your style with Smart Connect. With the Junior Bundle, get 50% off your national calls and up to 6 gigabytes of data at no extra cost. Get postpaid added on for an additional cost of only $25 with the Prime Bundle. Stay connected with unlimited smart-to-smart calls plus 6,300 megabytes of data and free international minutes. For the family, get the Binge Watchers bundle with Netflix add-on for only $28.13 more. This bundle gives you 4 profiles with unlimited streaming on multiple devices. Visit a showroom near you to sign up and personalize your own bundle combination with Smart Connect. Smart. bringing people together.
Greetings. On this World Environment Day 2024, I stand before you as your Minister of Sustainable Development and Climate Change with a message of hope and action. The theme for this year, land restoration, desertification, and drought resilience, calls us to unite in safeguarding our precious land and natural resources. Belize, our home, is facing challenges posed by land degradation, desertification, and drought, threats that require urgent attention and collective effort. It is imperative that we take a stand to protect our environment, for it sustains us all. Together, we can make a difference by promoting sustainable land management practices, engaging in reforestation efforts, and implementing water conservation measures. We can build resilience and ensure a more secure future for our children. Let us commit to being stewards of the land, guardians of our environment. Together, let us work towards a greener, more sustainable Belize. Happy World Environment Day 2024.
My name is Leomar Langsert and I'm a teacher and I bank with Belize Bank Independence Branch. What I enjoy is the safety features that the app offers. I have a sense of not having to worry or be concerned about somebody finding my password and username to sign in the application because of the use of the one-time password. And another feature that I love, that I use the most, is how the app synchronizes with my fingerprint on my device. I enjoy the rapid and easy, seamless process to apply for loans through the Belize Bank, and I don't have to be having too much back and forth to visit or take time to visit the bank. They also start to offer the online applications through the app for loan applications, which I believe is very neat. I would definitely recommend Belize Bank to other teachers because one of all the features and advantages that the app offer, with these online that Belize Bank offered, is basically everything that you can do in the palm of your hand. So I would definitely recommend the bank to other teachers.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
In last week's installment of Culture Tuesday, we brought you stories of La Llorona. In tonight's installment, we will take a closer look at another Belizean folklore character, Tata Duende. Its origin is believed to be from the Yucatec Maya culture. But like La Llorona, Tata Duende's story takes on different forms in different cultures. Some people believe he is this fearful creature that kidnaps children and steals their thumbs. Others are of the belief that Tata Duende is a spiritual entity that protects the forest and is meant to be respected. His story is one of both discipline and conservation. News 5's Paul Lopez filed the following report.
Stories of Tata Duende evoke a palpable sense of fear among listeners. In the Maya culture, however, this supernatural being, described by many as a gnome, is believed to be a spirit that protects the jungle. In Yucatec Maya, Tata Duende translates to Nukoch Tat. Andy Chuck is a cultural activist from northern Belize.
The word Tata in Maya means grandfather or father, and Duende comes from the contraction of the term Dueño de, which in English means owner of. So dueño de transforms to duende. Now in Yucatec Maya, the Tata Duende is not seen as a terror figure or a horror figure that would take children to the bush and pick their thumb. In the Yucatec Maya, they are described as protectors.
Tata Duende was something that we would hear, I would say, on a daily level, coming especially from my grandparents.
Kevin Mendez grew up in San Antonio Village in Orange Walk District. Growing up, he was told numerous stories of Tata Duende. He believes that it truly exists. One way to recognize Tata Duende's presence is through a loud, eerie whistle that the entity makes. Mendez even has a painting of Tata Duende in his home as a reminder of his childhood experiences.
If you are a child that is misbehaving, you would be told that the Tata Duende would come for you. So it's in a sense of saying, hey, you gotta behave as a child, and pay attention to your parents. But also it comes from a sense of saying that the Tata Duende was somebody that's a guardian of the forest, of the animals. I do believe this to be true because, like I told you, like I've heard the whistle. There's also like this particular time where I was working at a rehab center in Orange Walk. And in the space of the rehab center, there was a stable. So in the stable, you know, like most of the nights we would hear, you know, like this uproar of the horses, and you know, like many a times the caretaker would come in the morning and be like, hey, come take a look at this. And when you go and you look at the mane of the horses, you know, like they were like very like had a nicely like done braid, and it really like it just sticks out. It's really like extraordinary that you would really think, which human will come in the middle of the night and do this to a horse.
Tata Duende is believed to have a liking for horses and braiding their mane. Eleanor Carrillo is a cultural activist and storyteller. She grew up in San Jose Nuevo Palmar, a short distance from where Mendez grew up. She recounted the story of a teenage boy who went into Orange Walk town at night to meet a young lady without his parents' consent. On his way back home while walking through a farm, the horses and cattle became restless, causing him to run in the other direction.
So when he looked around, he looked back in the light that showed in the background over the town, he could actually see this Tata Duende, the sombrero, the features, and you know, against the light of the town. And so he just started running towards the village. And the horses and the cattle started stampeding after him. And he was running and running. He doesn't know how fast he was running, but he was running the fastest he had ever run in his life. But he says he really saw this Tata Duende on top of the horse that was waving his arms like knocking the neck of the horse so that the horse could run faster. And he ran faster and faster, and he did not stop until he reached the door of his house, and he started knocking on it and calling his mom and his dad.
Andy Chuck explains that Tata Duende is primarily a spiritual entity. Most of the elders he has spoken with describe Tata Duende as a spirit to whom rituals are dedicated to gain protection in the forest. But over time it has taken on human features and is described as a bearded, dwarfed, elderly man with missing thumbs, backward feet, and wearing a tall hat. Aurelia Schuff says he saw Tata Duende while working in Blue Creek Village in Toledo District. As he tells it, one evening he ventured into a dormitory alone to operate the switch for a water pump.
A lot of people say that they don't believe or it's not true, but it says not, you won't believe until you actually experience it or see this or have an encounter. So I went into the all the way to the back, so the thing like 100 feet long, no? The building and all office, yeah, I mean room this way, room that way, you know. So, but just to like the last room, as I pull the curtain aside, and when I looked up at the bunk bed, this man is sit down and they swing his foot, right? So, so my goodness, again, like this
you know, see face. You would have never see face like how you did see my face. You know, you have a hat down like that, but you could see your foot. You know, like if you just sit down, tap at the top, bunk on the bed, and you know, so swing your foot. So my goodness, I did tell you. the spirit, they hold me. The like what invisible wall, but like what invisible kind of energy they hold me. I had to run, but like you know, I feel like you had to do it in a slow motion. They come out at a building until I pop out. Then I kind of regain back myself, no? And you know, that's Tata Duende.
Lee McLaughlin, the creator of Belize's first animated movie, Tekwani and the Duende, has listened to dozens of Tata Duende stories throughout the years. Those stories are what inspired him to produce the animated movie.
I think that I had no right to disbelieve what people were telling me. If that's their experience, and that they tell me that's what they saw, I have no right to say that that's not what they saw. I would feel very lucky to be able to tell one of these stories, although some of them did seem pretty scary. Like you could see by the way people, the emotion in people's voices, they're telling the story, that it's something that affected them on a deep kind of emotional level. A friend of mine, she saw Tata Duende in the next person's yard on the back of a horse, and as he turned round, she just like froze, completely froze, and this is one of the most vivid memories of her childhood.
Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
The government of the Republic of China, Taiwan, has donated a check of 100,000 Belize dollars to assist in the recovery efforts following the devastating wildfires that impacted western and southern Belize a few weeks ago. The contribution was made to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the National Emergency Management Organization and will be used to purchase seeds, seedlings, and other supplies to support farmers in restoring their livelihoods and rebuilding affected areas. Making the contribution on behalf of the Taiwanese government was Ambassador Lily Li Wen-shu. When we return, seafaring women gathered to discuss the state of fisheries in Belize.
I learned that this group was established by 16 dedicated women committed to empower underprivileged women in the community who struggled during COVID. And this is the exact reason why the Taiwan government initiated this Women's Empowerment Project.
The program will be 3 months, 2 weeks for the duration of the classes. They're going to learn the basic to of sewing, which is measurement and so forth, learning the basic when it comes to the machines. After they graduate, which is going to be sometime in the ending of September, first week of October, they're going to give back to the community in the sense that, like we said, we want to empower.
You know, more than ever, we need to support, we need to empower our women, because our women are really the building blocks, the pillars of our society.
Let's take a journey through the core functions of the Social Security Board. It all starts with registering as an insured person, employer, or self-employed individual. Sign up for a portal account to manage your Social Security information online. Just provide accurate information and click Create. This will give you access to a range of services and benefits. Next, your contribution, along with investments and other income, are collected and distributed into 3 funds. This ensures that the SSB fund is securely utilized to support various benefit programs. The SSB is committed to providing essential benefits such as sickness, maternity, injury, and pension. These benefits are paid out to eligible individuals as a part of the Social Security coverage. We help you navigate through life's challenges with financial security. Annual surplus accumulates to grow the fund each year. This surplus is invested into various industries, contributing to the growth and development of our nation. With each passing year, the fund continues to grow due to the annual surplus and interest revenue earned from prudent investments. This surplus, along with reserves, helps to bolster the SSB fund and provide a safety net for those in need. We've arrived at the end of our journey to better understanding how the SSB works. We remain committed to serving you and building a secure future for all Belizeans.
Belize Electricity Limited is pleased to announce the holding of its 2023 Annual General Meeting at the Best Western Belize Biltmore Plaza, mile 3.5 Philip Goldson Highway, Belize City, Belize, on Thursday, June 20, 2024, commencing at 7 p.m. For registration purposes, shareholders are advised to bring along a valid identification, such as a Social Security card. Shareholders who are unable to attend may choose, and we encourage you to exercise this right, to appoint your proxy, or you can simply appoint the company's CEO or the corporate secretary as your proxy to represent you at the AGM. Furthermore, the company will provide virtual access to the meeting. Shareholders or proxies can choose to participate virtually by visiting the company's website at www.bel.com.bz/AGM on the date and time of the meeting. Shareholders and proxies will be asked to provide their contact information along with an electronic copy of a valid identification. Pre-registration for virtual attendance commences on Monday, June 10, 2024, and closes at 5 p.m. on Wednesday, June 19, 2024. Shareholders may do so either by visiting the company's website at www.bel.com.bz/AGM or by contacting BEL's Securities Officer at 227-0954, extension 1512 for assistance.
This plan, I can't leave this plan. Smart Belize!
Hey there, smart thinkers. We're turbocharging your mobile experience with Smart's powered up postpaid plans. Imagine a world where your data speeds flows faster than ever. Well, guess what? We've cranked up the dial and unleashed the postpaid power of Smart's lightning fast LTE data on all our postpaid plans. That's right, no speed bumps, more data. It's like having a limitless highway of data speed at your fingertips. Whether you're a lone ranger with an individual plan or a squad rolling with a group plan, everyone gets to surf, stream, and share at enhanced, full, high-quality speed. Switch to Smart's powered-up postpaid plans today and ride the wave of postpaid power. Visit any Smart showroom or smart-bz.com for details and make your mobile experience smarter and faster. Smart, bringing people together.
No, I can't leave this plan. I can't leave this plan.
There are roughly 100 registered and unregistered women fishers in Belize. A progressively challenging industry coupled with climate change factors have compounded their chances of making their livelihood profitable. Now, through the formation of the Women in Fisheries Association, these ladies hope to be able to access more and better opportunities to advance their lives. For the past 2 days, the newly formed association has been meeting in Hopkins Village to discuss all the prevailing factors. News 5's Marian Ali filed the following report.
Over 70 women from 11 fishing communities across Belize completed the 7th annual Women in Fisheries Forum today. The event, which took place in Hopkins Village, saw for the first time the selection of a president of the newly formed Women in Fisheries Association. Ralna Lam Lewis, the Assistant Country Director for Marine at Wildlife Conservation Society, told News 5 that the fisherwomen are looking for inclusion in an industry that has become ever more challenging.
The women who are involved in the various activities along the fisheries value chain, whether it's processing, value added, marketing, they want their voices to be heard. They want to be a part of the decision-making body that is involved when it comes to management decisions regarding fisheries, as well as, these decisions impact their livelihoods. So that is one of the main things that they want to look at. And as an association, they'll be able to advocate on their basically for their membership, as well as ensure that they're able to receive investments that benefit them and their households and their communities.
As the association's first president, Paula Jacobs-Williams will seek to push for better opportunities that have been non-existent for women to advance in the fisheries sector.
Right now, DFC, they give the fishers now a lot of problems. So we want a way how we could get together as women in fisheries, and we could find a way that easier, that we could get a loan or a grant. You could just go in and not a letter after signing, and they have to somebody to back you up, you understand me? And then for the future girls, then we want like something as a retirement scheme, I want to see that for we future girls and in fisheries, ladies, we have some kind of retirement scheme, even if we have to open like a cooperative, maybe a credit union somewhat, so that at the end of it, we are ensured that once I say I'm retiring this year, I could have some kind of benefit at the end of the retirement.
A representative from the DFC was present to assure the women fishers that they would have access to financing at slightly cheaper rates than other loan programs, with no collateral requirements. During her 2-year term, Jacobs-Williams will endeavor to have a cooperative formed that could assist the women fishers and their groups to package and market their marine products locally and abroad. That realization would come in the face of a few challenges the women are currently facing. Olga Colon is a 19-year-old fisherwoman from Barranco Village who has been accompanying her father at sea for as long as she can remember. She says the conditions keep getting tougher and she would welcome the new opportunities.
As we all know, the sun just to get worse, and we have to stay more protected, and it's harder for the outer sea with the sun just to blast by your skin. And we have skiff, we don't have the can of paper with boat, so we get it real bad. I just have to put in more work out at sea.
Go farther out.
Yeah, and go farther out. Well, right now, fish not about that much, but I personally hope to eventually get my license, my boat, land, so I could land by the coast. Yeah, so I could have easier access to the sea.
Organizations such as the International Institute for Sustainable Development, a Canada-based organization, deals with climate change issues. Colon says these women are relying on these NGOs to maximize their opportunities. National Coordinator Giselle Borland says they are here to assist, and at least 2 groups from Belize would also be eligible for grant funding.
One of the things that ISD is doing is that we're trying to have communities tell us what would be the best things for them to adopt, because Belize is very unique. What might work for Africa or Fiji might not work for Belize, so it's best that communities tell us what would be the best solution for their climate change issues, and then we listen to them and we try to see how we can work through those issues.
So, the support would come in what form then from?
The ISD has an innovation fund that we will be issuing soon, July, and we're hoping to launch in September, where different women group and underrepresented groups can write into us a proposal, and then we will fund a nature-based solution for adaptation project that they have within their communities.
Present all the way from across the Caribbean Sea was the Bahamas Commercial Fishers Alliance. President Adrian Laroda told News 5 that their attendance was more of an information and fact-finding exchange. He said that although Belize and the Bahamas are geographically distant, we share some commonalities.
Admittedly, we don't have a lot of women, basically as managers of the fisheries sector in the Bahamas, but they're more, in the processing side. But they can take the message back, and there's lessons to be learned from this. Particularly in this age where there is greater focus now on women's rights and gender and youth. While we're separated geographically, the similarities are there. It's important to have unity, even when there's disagreement. There's disbarment. It's important to be unified.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Marian Ali.
One of the major events of the two-day Women in Fisheries Forum in Hopkins was the endorsement of Paula Jacobs Williams of Punta Negra as president of the next 2 years. She told News 5 that she intends to lobby on behalf of all women fisherfolk, primarily where they face difficulty in marketing their catch. Interestingly, the number of licensed commercial women fisherfolk across Belize account for only 3% of the total number of fisherfolks in the country. But women who are engaged in fisheries-related activities play a big role within the sector. And these roles that women engage in play a huge part in the communities where they live, according to the Assistant Country Director of Marine at Wildlife Conservation Society, Ralna Lam-Lewis.
You have a lot of women who are involved in processing. If you go to the cooperatives, if you go to the fish markets within the coastal communities, and then you have the women who basically are involved in preparing the trips, managing the finances, so all of that additional activities, the value added part, those involved in seaweed.
So you're looking for better markets?
Marketing, and then packaging and stuff like that. So we could join, like what I say, like a co-op, and then so each of us could, start a pack. And we could sell, they could call it import and export and all, because we could make some, like for example, we have in Punta Negra, we have the lake, we have freshwater fish. Some people go for the freshwater and some the saltwater.
So is it only fish that you do?
We do fish, we do conchs, we do lobster, shrimps, all the other, and then we could always package it.
In the Maya village of Pueblo Viejo, women and girls are taking steps to empower themselves despite their financial situations. The Taiwan Technical Mission and the Ministry of Rural Transformation are working together to offer the women of the Tamul UJ Pueblo Mopan Women's Group sewing lessons, with the goal of helping them reach financial security and one day pass on the skills to the younger generation. The initiative is part of the Enhancing Women in Belize in the COVID-19 Post-Pandemic Era project. Here's News 5's Brittany Gordon with more information.
In the village of Pueblo Viejo, a remote community in southern Belize, a group of 16 women joined forces to help pull each other out of financial insecurity. These are the members of the Tamul UJ Pueblo Mopan Women's Group who will now be enrolled in the Taiwan Technical Mission program, where they will learn a valuable skill that has supported Belizean women and families for decades: sewing.
Today, my friends, is about celebrating this wonderful project that the Tumul Group is going to benefit from. And really what this project seeks to do is really to provide training for our women to improve their entrepreneurial skills, to improve their sewing skills, to improve their, the collaborative effort of working together, and to be able to pass on those traditional and cultural skills that our women have. When we look at the women who are out there and you see that beautiful embroidery that they have, that's so wonderful, so wonderful. And, our women, they know how to embroider this, how to sew, but it's not sufficient for them only to know. We want them to pass it on to the children. We want them to be able to share it with our other beautiful cultures in Belize. And we want them to see it as an opportunity for you to be able to make some money.
The women will learn the basics of sewing and maintaining sewing equipment. At the end of the course, the participants will be able to create their own outfits and possibly sew uniforms for school children. Coordinator of the group, Dahlia Sho, explained what we can expect from this training.
So the program will be 3 months, 2 weeks for the duration of the classes. They're going to learn the basic from the basic to of sewing, which is measurement and so forth, learning the basic when it comes to the machines, the different parts, how to take care of your machines, because that's very important, because that's the tool that they're going to use throughout the course, as well as learning basic measurements. That's also when it comes to knowledge, building those math skills and so forth. And also, whenever they are finished within the course, they will be able to make their own outfit. For example, they will be able to produce not only for themselves, but also for the children that they have, and also maybe at the end they will be able to vendor some uniforms for the school children especially. And from here, after they graduate, which is going to be sometime in the ending of September, first week of October, they're going to give back to the community in the sense that, like we said, we want to empower not only women as well, but our children.
Sho said that she has been attempting to get the project underway for nearly 3 years. This year, the proposal was approved by the Taiwan Technical Mission. Taiwanese Ambassador Lily Lee Wen-shu shares her excitement about the program.
Talking about partnership, the most important one is the local partner. So, to implement the project, we need to collaborate with local partners. In this program, I'm particularly pleased to have such a like-minded partner, the Tumu Wu Women's Group. I learned that this group was established by 16 dedicated women committed to empower underprivileged women in the community who struggled during COVID. And this is the exact reason why the Taiwan government initiated this women's empowerment project. We want to help those women, those underprivileged, to support themselves, because they were the ones who've been hitting most hard, the hardest, hit hard during the pandemic. And we want to help the women to recover. And through the women, because women is the agent of change, through women, you can change the community.
The goal of the project is to not only create opportunities for women to grow financially, but to cultivate a community that strives towards greater achievements.
But I want to say to you, find the time to meet, to work together, to share together, to laugh together, to enjoy the successes of your project. And today, this is the beginning. We want you to build on this success. And I hope that in the coming years, we are going to see that coming out of Pueblo Viejo, coming out of this training that you are going to participate, that we are going to see our young people, our young girls, our young boys, benefit from these skills that you're going to learn. And that one day, we can see that the products that you produce can be out there for sale, for the tourists, for the export market. The opportunities are endless.
Brittany Gordon for News 5.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at channel5belize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us. And from all of us here at News 5, good night.